So yeah, I think the injury happened early in the year, to be honest, because I just had a little niggle in my knuckle, and then I fought in March, and I think, to be honest, that's where I did the most damage. When you're in there, you kind of just get through it, and you don't really feel it. But after the fight, I've really felt it. So yeah, I just rested it for a few weeks and then worked around it in training because I was fighting in May. So yeah, I managed to get through that fight camp. I didn't really spar much, to be honest, just because I didn't want to provoke it. I'd rather save it for the fight. So I ended up fighting in May, and then same thing again. I felt that it was sore, so I ended up getting it checked out. And when I did, they thought it was just like a little, like a minor tear. So they said maybe you could have like a cortisone and rest it for a few weeks and it'll be alright. So they did like an ultrasound, and it was actually quite a big tear in my knuckle. So every time I was punching, it was my knuckle, like my bone was basically just hitting the back of my skin. So yeah, that was that. So I got booked in for the operation, and that took about around 3 months to get back punching. Even just lightly though, I was punching light, and then obviously it's better now, so I'm ready to fight. Yeah, it's a weird one because you've been so active all the time. It's kind of like, it's like a stump in the middle of the road, you know what I mean? But there's nothing I could do about it, to be fair. I just got to crack on and work around it. So that's what I did. I was just doing what I can, going out for walks, running when I can, working around it in training. But yeah, it was only 7 months, but it felt like a lot longer. I just knew that it was just part of it. Like, it is what it is. There's no point in crying and moaning about it. I'm just, once it's better, I'm going to be back to fighting. So that's the way I looked at it. Because even the doctor said it's quite a common thing with boxers, and he told me about all the people he's done it for. And I spoke to a few people that have had it done, and they said, yeah, after a few months you'll be right. So I couldn't actually bend. I couldn't bend my hand fully. So it was just slowly, week by week. I had to have a splint on that. That made my hand bend a little bit more each week, and then just getting back to fully squeezing it. Once I could close it, it's getting back to impact, because obviously it was still swelling up. Once I was punching with it, I'd have to rest it for like 2 or 3 days just before I could do it again. So it was like massaging it and making sure I can bend it, and it's got full grip strength. So, like I said, I couldn't really spar, so I was saving it for the fight. I presumed I was going to hurt it in the fight, but I just thought, right, it's 6 rounds. I can push through. And to be fair, it made me work on different sort of techniques. I mean, I didn't have to just stand there and bang with him. I could move. It made me do things that I wouldn't always do, which was good. So it's just something I learned something else from it, to be fair, because I kind of worked around it. To be fair, it allowed me to do a few different things. Like, obviously, sometimes when you're boxing all the time, you can't go out with your family for meals. You can't go certain places because you're thinking about resting for training. So it allowed me to free up a bit of time on holiday. But yeah, I was still training. Yeah, so my opponent, I only found out probably last week. Edgar something, is like Eastern European. He just comes forward, to be fair. He's quite game. He comes to fight, which is what I want. You know what I mean, I don't want everyone just moving around. I want people to come to fight and give the crowd a good fight. But yeah, I think he comes to spoil. He comes to win. You know what I mean? So even better for me.